Dante, quick shot, don't stop, quick shot.
Don't stop, quick shot. Am I the only one feeling this?
Yeah. I mean, hey, everyone, if you couldn't guess from Luke's second awesome introduction, we are back with another episode of Dante Quick Shots. And I mean, Luke, you are kind of technically allowed to have all the vibes since you created all the music.
Well, I did. I'm not proud of it, but I did. So thank you.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
It is. It's all about the vibes, but it's also about the tech. So today, in the way that only he can, Bernie is going to talk to us today about Dante Flows.
Whoa. Before we go to Bernie, we are the Automators.
Oh.
So let's talk about Dante Flows. So we all know what an audio channel is. And in Dante, we have transmit channels, we have receive channels. Transmit channels are sent from sources. Receive channels, well, those are destinations on the network, okay? Now, when we transmit this audio, we don't just simply take a single channel of audio and cram it into a packet and, send it onto a device and, do one channel per packet. That would be extremely wasteful. We want to be good network citizens, so we can package our audio efficiently. And so what we use is this concept of a Dante Flow, where we can package multiple channels of audio onto the network and then send it out. And we do this two different ways. By default, we use unicast communication in Dante for Dante audio. And what unicast is basically it's a private conversation between that source device and a receiving device. So if you send the audio to one receiving device, that's a private conversation. Send the same audio to a second device, that's another private conversation. So the source device has to do a little more work to keep all these private conversations going. And if we look at unicast flows, you can consider them in like an envelope. So we can put up to 4 channels of uncompressed audio into that envelope, seal it up, send it out across the network and to that receiving device. Now that receiving device in Dante Controller, when we make that subscription, whether we're selecting one channel or all 4 channels, that uses one receive flow on that receiving device. The transmit flow has now used one Dante transmit flow. If we take that same audio, send it to a second device, the transmitting device is now using 2 of its available flows. The receiving device, that second receiving device, is only using 1 receive flow. And again, we send the same audio to a third device. Now that the transmitting device is using 3 of its available Dante transmit flows, and the receiving devices, they're all using 1 receive flow. Pretty straightforward. Now, keep in mind that receive flows are always 4 channels, because when we talk about multicast Dante flows, well, those are a little different. So multicast is a multicast Dante flow is something that you manually create in Dante Controller, and it's rather really not an envelope. It's more of a newspaper, or like a newspaper supplement, in that we can cram a lot of information in there, just like a newspaper. And so many Dante devices actually can do up to 64 channels of audio in a multicast flow. But in our example, we're going to take 8 audio channels and we're going to put them in this newspaper. So we print the newspaper. Now we got to distribute that. So we send it to a third-party distribution center, and they take care of distributing it to every mailbox in town, right? Or in our case, on the local area network. Now, all these Dante receivers have this information. Now, whether they open their mailbox and choose to read it, or if they decide to throw it in the trash, that's up to them. But when you make those Dante subscriptions to a multicast, basically, if we look at the flow count, on the transmit side, that's a single Dante flow for the transmitting device. So it's much easier there. On the receiving side, if this first device subscribes to all 8 channels of audio, that will use 2 receive flows on that device. If the second device has no subscriptions, no receive flows are used. And if we keep going down the line here, you can see a pattern develop. If it's under 4 channels of audio, 4 channels or less, it'll use 1 receive flow. If it's above 4 channels, it'll use 2 receive flows, keeping in mind that we are only sending 8 channels of audio in this multicast flow. So the bottom line is that multicast makes it easier on the sending device. The switch does the work when using multicast. It takes care of the distribution. Now, multicast in its unmanaged form is similar to broadcast, but the key thing is that it can be managed, because when you send all that information to all the devices on the network, if they're not interested in it, they still have to process that information, and that, can slow things down, which is one of the reasons why, there are methods to manage multicast, which is way beyond the scope of this short Dante Quick Shots video. So I'm going to turn it back over to you folks, and if you want to learn more, please check out the level 1 and level 2 certifications on the Dante website. Thanks.
So, of course, if you guys want to learn more, you can drop a comment below, or you can email us at sales@audinate.com.
And next time on Dante Quick Shots, Bernie and we're bringing the A team together, and we're going to be talking about latency.